no one to blame but themselves for going down this charade for so long.
So, Scott, a couple things. Hold on, Maria. A couple things.
Okay.
Because of Biden's performance, it has eclipsed much of what Donald Trump said. So are Republicans comfortable with his answers at the debate? I mean, here's what he said about the violence, for instance, on January 6th. Listen to this.
My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically.
Oh, well, he went on to say that, I mean, he went on to brag about what a great, the January 6th was a high point, basically, of his tenure. I mean, he talked about, the border. He sort of pivoted away to all the things that were going well on January 6th. Are Republicans comfortable with him not taking any responsibility for what happened on January 6th and calling it, sort of a feather in his cap for that day?
To the specific question, are Republicans comfortable? Of course they are, because what he did at the debate is what he did during the primary, is what he did for the last 2 years, and they renominated him, and it wasn't really all that close. And I keep hearing people, going off on Trump for not doing very well or whatever. I looked at the polls this morning, the CBS YouGov poll. I mean, people thought he won the debate 56-16, which was even a wider margin than the Snap poll that CNN conducted on Thursday night. The truth is, Donald Trump just needed to deliver a simple message on inflation, immigration, and Afghanistan, and he did that. And by the way, one of the only coherent statements that Joe Biden delivered during the debate was when he claimed that not a single U.S. soldier had died while he's been commander-in-chief. The most egregious lie told at that debate was that one, because it dishonored the memory of the soldiers who died in Afghanistan, and it was terrible. And I can't believe there's not more outrage about that. There certainly is in the Republican Party. Yeah. So all in, I think Trump did fine.
Guys, we have to go, but I'll just say, Scott, I was talking about the substance, not just the style of how he delivered it. But 54% of Americans also don't think that Donald Trump should run. But I was talking about how, should Trump be running for president? 54% say no, 46% say yes. But the point is that how he dealt with what actually happened on January 6th. But either way, I take both. I've got to go, Maria. 5 seconds. Go ahead.
There were also several things that President Biden said that were true. Donald Trump is a convicted felon.
Yeah,
he's a loser and a sucker, and he's an existential threat to our democracy.
Good try.
Okay.
All of that was true,
Scott, Maria, thank you both.